OK, so both of our political leaders of the major parties made apologies today for bullying, sexual harassment and assaults in Parliament House. They make it sound like Animal House.
A power imbalance over that time that has been exploited. And that exploitation, abuse, bullying and harassment has played itself out through terrible, traumatic and harrowing experiences. The harassment of staff, particularly female staff, as well as the harassment of female members and senators. Over many decades, an ecosystem, a culture was perpetuated where bullying, abuse, harassment and in some cases even violence became normalised. This has to change. It is changing. And I believe it will change.
Normalised? The Labor leader went down the same path.
Indeed, there are many who are not ready to speak and perhaps never will be. I hope that you can take some heart from knowing that this very institution that fouled you is at last acknowledging your hurt. Most importantly, we are sorry. On behalf of the Australian Labor Party, I am sorry. We are committing to change.
Now, I've been through all this with you before. The report is not based on scientific data, the report that all these apologies are based on. They only took information from those who chose to be involved, and their claims weren't tested. I worked in Parliament House for a decade, mainly in senior offices, but for a while in the press gallery too. It's a tough and ruthless environment, we all know that. But as for this terrible behaviour, I say it's more prevalent in the Canberra press gallery and the media generally than in political offices. Still, this is where the left and the media want to take politics in the lead up to the election. They want it in some sort of perpetual crisis, endless scandal. And today was just another day of advancing this agenda with victims who deserve sympathy, respect and justice, to be sure. But some victims who have played active and partisan roles in the media and political debate, they were in the chamber to hear all this play out.
We don't shy and have sought to silence the valid and just complaints of people because there was fear about electoral consequences. I am sorry. We are sorry. I'm sorry to Ms Higgins for the terrible things that took place here. And the place that should have been a place of safety and contribution turned out to be a nightmare. But I'm sorry for far more than that, for all of those who came before Ms Higgins and endured the same, but she had the courage to stand. And so here we are. So we are sorry for all of these things. And in doing so, each of us take an accountability for changing these things.
Well, that case is before a court, so the less said about it, the better. Except that we want the alleged victim, Brittany Higgins, to get the care she needs, and we want justice to prevail. Anthony Albanese seemed to say that all men carry the shame.
Men have to step up and be allies in both word and deed. We have no excuse to wait for yet another wake-up call. This has been made clear to us by the extraordinary examples of not just Brittany Higgins, but Grace Tame and others who have found the strength to lift the weight of their own experience and hold it high until no one could look away.
Just what purpose all this serves is something that confounds me. It's the triumph of gesture over policies, emotion over practical solutions and real-world politics. And it certainly does nothing to satisfy the critics. ABC journalist Louise Milligan, who's relentlessly and erroneously pursued Cardinal George Pell and former Attorney General Christian Porter, was slamming these apologies even before they were made. She said on Twitter that the move jars because of the way the alleged victims or individual complainants say they've been treated since they came forward. That's the ABC's impartial view. And sexual assault victim, successful campaigner for important legal reforms, and now Australian of the Year, Grace Tame, she bought into it too. Moments after the PM spoke, she tweeted, "How about some proactive, preventative measures and not just these performative, last-minute, band-aid electioneering stunts?" Well, despite our differing ideological perspectives on this, our differing partisan perspectives on this perhaps, it seems that Grace Tame and I might be on a unity ticket here. This sort of stuff, she calls it performative, I call it virtue signalling. It doesn't actually get anything done.